Okay, Mr. W, I'm not entirely sure why you think after everything you did, you have the right to boss me about. No, stop talking. Stop saying it was an accident. An accident implies there was no blame. You were definitely to blame. Now, why are you dragging me back to the studio? I've told you, I am taking some time out for myself. I am working on me. What? I have never noticed this door before. It is right next to the studio. How have I never noticed it? What do you mean? Oh, the implant. See, you really have messed with my head. Oh. Oh. Wow. Mr. Wigglesworth? I think we're back.
Let's sing a song about Susie, that pretty little witty little Susie, with the big brown eyes and the turned up nose and the big blue bow in her hair. Let's sing a song about Susie, that naughty little Susie, with the dimpled chin and the cutest grin and the darndest innocent stare. Oh, oh, she's as sweet as a bun, and she's second to none. And what's more, she's a bundle of joy and a barrel of fun. Let's sing a song about Susie. You've got to go for someone so divine. But if you want to make love to Susie, no can do, mustn't touch. She's mine. You can sing a song about Susie, but if you want to make love to Susie, no can do, mustn't touch. She's mine. Pretty little witty little Susie is mine.
Hello, listeners. I am back. Yes, once again, you're listening to West Vault Radio with your host, Susan Reith, broadcasting today for a brighter tomorrow. And that jaunty little ditty, listeners, was The Sportsman with Let's Sing a Song About Susie. Now, just in case you're wondering, listeners, we are in fact live. This is not a pre-recorded segment that I've been playing recently, unless this is a pre-recorded segment that you're listening to later. But never mind, I am back. And I suspect many of you, particularly those of you who listen to the Westies, are wondering where I've been for the last couple of months. Well, as you can imagine, if you did listen, there was a lot of revelations to get to grips with after that. A lot of inner turmoil and conflict, and a really deep sense of betrayal. And that took me a little time to get over. So an hour later, when I'd got over that, I decided I was going to take a vaultcation. And I just thought it'd be a fantastic opportunity to really focus on me and, get to know myself and really work on myself. So I got up to quite a few little activities. I learned to bake. That was fun. We had a few kitchen disasters. I am not going to lie to you, listeners. Susan would never do that. Never. But eventually, I worked out to make a very good Victoria sponge. So if it wasn't for the fact I'm here in a vault, I would obviously invite you all around for tea and cake, but I'm not going to do that. What else did I get up to? Yes, I finished my book. I've been reading the Design of the Compromise, volume 1 of 7.
God, I'm still talking.
It's taken me a while, mostly because, it's just a little bit, even for me, a little bit too egotistical. So I read that, and honestly, I can't say I think I've learned anything from that, aside from there are some really good words in it. I will take that away from it. Good words. The best, some might say. What else have I done? Oh, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to try to learn something new every day. And that was all part of the working on myself portion of the section. So I thought I would learn a new skill, or maybe try a language or a new activity. This didn't really go well, as I spent 3 days in the infirmary after trying to learn to roller skate backwards in the roller disco. So I decided that learning something new every day wasn't strictly necessary as part of my self-improvement project. So all in all, I've been quite busy, listeners, but I have to say, I am now absolutely thrilled to be broadcasting live again. And before we get on with today's show, I thought I'd maybe tell you about some of the changes that myself, Mr. Wigglesworth, and all my robots have come up with after the revelations from the Westies. So, well, really, the only thing that really you need to care about is that Mr. Wigglesworth is no longer allowed to talk unless I give him permission. Isn't that right, Mr. W? Excellent. So he's not allowed to talk unless I tell him. And the robots finally showed me the broadcasting and receiving section of the vault, which means now I can receive, well, communications from people in the wasteland. So you know what that means, listeners. That means I can now have conversations with all of you, my civilized, cultured, and erudite listeners, because I'm absolutely certain you're the kind of audience I encourage. So, well, without further ado, I think we're going to fire up the receiving. Oh. About Susie. Now, just in case you're wondering, listeners, we are in fact live. This is not a pre-recorded segment that I've been playing recently, unless this is a pre-recorded segment that you're listening to later. But never mind, I am back. And I suspect many of you, particularly those of you who listen to the Westies, are wondering where I've been for the last couple of months. Well, as you can imagine, if you did listen, there was a lot of revelations to get to grips with after that. A lot of inner turmoil and conflict, and a really deep sense of betrayal. And that took me a little time to get over. So an hour later, when I'd got over that, I decided I was going to take a vaultcation. And I just thought it'd be a fantastic opportunity to really focus on me, and get to know myself and really work on myself. So I got up to quite a few little activities. I learned to bake. That was fun. We had a few kitchen disasters. I am not going to lie to you, listeners. Susan would never do that. Never. But eventually, I worked out to make a very good Victoria sponge. So if it wasn't for the fact I'm here in a vault, I would obviously invite you all around for tea and cake, but I'm not going to do that. What else did I get up to? Oh, yes, I finished my book. I've been reading the Design of the Compromise, volume 1 of 7 by President Drumpf. It's taken me a while, mostly because, well, it's just a little bit, well, even for me, a little bit too egotistical. So I read that, and honestly, I can't say I think I've learned anything from that, aside from there are some really good words in it. I will take that away from it. Good words. The best, some might say. What else have I done? Oh, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to try to learn something new every day, and that was all part of the working on myself portion of the section. So I thought I would learn a new skill, or maybe try a language or a new activity. This didn't really go well, as I spent 3 days in the infirmary after trying to learn to roller skate backwards in the roller disco. So I decided that learning something new every day wasn't strictly necessary as part of my self-improvement project. So all in all, I've been quite busy, listeners, but I have to say, I am now absolutely thrilled to be broadcasting live again. And before we get on with today's show, I thought I'd maybe tell you about some of the changes that myself, Mr. Wigglesworth, and all my robots have come up with after the revelations from the Westies. So, well, really, the only thing that really you need to care about is that Mr. Wigglesworth is no longer allowed to talk unless I give him permission. Isn't that right, Mr. W? Excellent. So he's not allowed to talk unless I tell him. And the robots finally showed me the broadcasting and receiving section of the vault, which means now I can receive, well, communications from people in the wasteland. So you know what that means, listeners. That means I can now have conversations with all of you, my civilized, cultured, and erudite listeners, because I'm absolutely certain you're the kind of audience I encourage. So, well, without further ado, I think we're going to fire up the receiving station, and it's going to be time for another exciting segment of Talk Vault. Don't just talk. Talk Vault. Well, listeners, I have been waiting a really, really long time for this. Just the opportunity to get to speak to you and really have the opportunity to finally discuss the really important issues that we in this current world are facing. So, national anthems. A jingoistic relic from a bygone age, or a nationalizing identity to bring civilization to the modern era? What do you think? Personally, I quite like national anthems. I certainly thought that having a British national anthem was a wonderful idea until I actually heard it. Oh dear, listeners, have you heard the British national anthem? I'm not even going to play it for you because it is so depressing. It is like a funeral dirge for some unelected sponge, and we're asking for a non-specific deity to keep her alive. I mean, really, it's just terrible. The Australians have it right with Waltzing Matilda. Quite frankly, that's a classy national anthem. But enough about me. Enough about my thoughts. Why not get in touch with us, listeners, and let me know how you view national anthems. So once again, listeners, you can contact us on 6.42 kilohertz. No, that's not right, is it, Mr. Wigglesworth? No, 6421 kilohertz. There you go, 6421. So contact us on 6421. And let me know what you think about national anthems. And just say hi. So, I think we've got something coming through. Yes, we now have a caller. So, Mr. Wigglesworth, send them through. Hello, caller. You are live on the air with me, Susan Reith, for Talk Vault.
Finally, Susan. I've been really looking forward to hearing your voice, honey.
Well, that is excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in.
Yes, that's nice. Are
What were your opinions on national anthems, caller? And can I take your name?
Let's not bring names into this, baby. National anthems. Whatever really makes you feel good is what I'm looking forward to, Susan. Really.
Well, you know what makes me feel good? Broadcasting. Broadcasting makes me feel good.
Ooh, broads. Yes, broads make me feel good too. That's right. Oh, national anthems.
Yeah, have you got a cold, listener? You're sounding a bit muffled.
I've just been exercising.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is very important. Exercising is terrifically important. Wastelanders, if you're listening, our mystery caller, he's right. Exercising, it may make you breathe heavily afterwards, but it is definitely good for you.
What do you like to exercise in? What do you wear when you exercise, Susan? What are you wearing right now, babe?
Oh, well, I am wearing as a standard vault suit. It's pretty. This is actually one of my older ones, if I'm going to be honest. It's a bit frayed around the knees, but you know what? Vault Tech were absolutely right. The vault suit is the most practical outfit.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Say that again. Slower. Say that slower.
Sorry, sorry. Oh, you might not have heard me. Okay, of course you've been working out. You're obviously quite exhausted. I'm wearing a vault suit. For Wastelanders who don't know what a vault suit is, it's a onesie. It's an all-in-one piece, and it's blue, and it has the vault number on the back. So mine has 97 on the back, and I'm wearing my favorite socks as well underneath that. They're blue.
Oh yeah, slow down.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm going so fast. My socks are blue, and they have little yellow stripes on them because they're, I think, the Vault Tech colours. But these ones in particular, these are my lucky socks. I wear them every Westies.
Are they?
Even though I'm.
You keep those. You keep those snug. You keep those really nice and tight.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're a bit loose now. They used to be quite tight, but now they're quite loose. I think that's what happens with age. Everything loosens up over time.
Let's get us some fresh stockings. Roll those out. Can we roll some stockings out for us?
Speaking of national flags. I don't know if I have any stockings. Mr. Wigglesworth, do we have any stockings in storage? No, he says we don't. I suppose Vault Tech weren't really interested in those.
How do you? Are you into robots?
Well, I have robots in my vault. They're pretty handy. I find, you know, it's always good to have some robots. I have to keep them very well oiled, of course, because otherwise they're just going to.
Singing my national anthem right now, baby.
Oh, what is your national anthem?
Anything you're singing right now, just keep going. Slow it down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, caller. I'm as much as it's been terrifically wonderful talking to you, because you are actually the first person to call WVR in quite some time. I am going to have to move on because we do have other callers on the line. Isn't that right, Mr. W? We've got other people trying to call in.
No, don't hang up. Come on, just
okay. I'm sorry. And yeah, we have got another caller on the line. So sorry. Thank you very much, mystery caller. Lovely to speak to you. Let's move on now, shall we? There we go. And I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, you are live on WVR.
What? Who's there?
You're live with Susan on Talk Vault.
I can hear you. Show me where you are, puny.
I think we're having some technical difficulties. Are we transmitting okay, Mr. W? We are. Oh, that's odd. Once again, caller, you are live with me, Susan. What are your thoughts on national anthems?
Butterface smash, Susan. Butterface better than weak Susan. Butterface not like free press.
That is not very civil of you, Mr. Face. I warn you, if you do not behave, I will be forced to terminate this call.
Where are you? I'll get you.
I am safe in my vault, you small-brained ignoramus.
I will destroy you, puny talking human.
You're welcome to try. Mr. Face? Are you still with us? Okay, it seems like we may have lost Mr. Face, listeners. So onwards and upwards, we now have a new and exciting song for you. Well, okay, it's not that new because there haven't been many new songs, but this is a new song for WVR. Dug it out the archives myself, and I'm telling you, listeners, it's a treat. I don't have just Dinah Shore for you. No, no, no. I don't even just have Dinah Shore and Betty Hutton for you. No, I don't even have Dinah Shore, Betty Hutton, and Tony Martin. No, listeners, I have for you right now on a West Vault Radio exclusive, Dinah Shore, Betty Hutton, Tony Martin, and Phil Harris with The Musicians.
I am a fine musician, I practice every day, and people come from miles around just to hear me play. My trumpet, they love to hear my trumpet. Ta-ra-ta-ta-ta-ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
I am a fine musician and I get lots of pay, 'cause people throw me pennies every time I play. My tuba, they love to hear my tuba. Oompa, 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 oompa. I am a fine musician, my music is so gay, and everybody dances when they hear me play. My trombone, they love to hear my trombone. La 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 la. Oompa, 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 oompa.
I am a fine musician, that's what the people say, and all the children follow me when they hear me play. My piccolo, they love to hear my piccolo.
We all are fine musicians, we practice every day. And if you'd like to play with us, we'll show you the way. Come join us, just take a part and join us. Come join us, just take a part and join us.
Oh, my piccolo broke!
Well, that was fun, listeners. I really hope you enjoyed that one. That's certainly cheered me up for the day. Not that I'm not cheerful already. I mean, it was really great to hear the last caller, being as that's the first person not from this vault I've spoken to in a really long time. Anyway, whilst that song was playing, we actually had a voice message. I suppose that's the best way to call it. A voice message came in for us, and it's from a chap who actually quite frequently writes into us here at WVR via the old ticker tape thing. He calls himself Crazy Larry, but he's a lovely guy, and he certainly can educate me a lot. He's indicating all sorts of things about what's going on in the wasteland. So I do use him as a great source of information. I know some of you may be questioning that using a man called Crazy Larry as a news source is probably not terrifically handy. But personally, I've always found him to be very, very reliable, and he's never spoken with Russia. So I think that is brilliant. So Mr. W, if you could just play that little recording we've got there, I think you'll enjoy this, listeners.
Well, hiya, Susan. This is Larry Sheetswizzle. Well, but my friends usually just call me Crazy Larry. Well, the old Yusofa is just not what it was a couple hundred years ago. And I just want to commemorate the the celebration of our national anthems by saying this here's the wasteland anthem, and I'll be singing it a cappella. That's with no accompaniment. So here we go. Oh, shake hand, you'll say, by the dawn's bright green light, what so proudly we hold, two drum towers bright glowing, through broad streets and street cars, through the perilous fight, o'er the crampkins we walked, were so delicately glowing. And the red rockets' glare, grenades bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the Drumpf was still there. Oh, say does that star-mangled spammer yet post for the land of dwarf trees and the home of Matmerta? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, that was Crazy Larry, and I think he just sang us the official Wasteland National Anthem. So that was very interesting. It certainly gave me a few thoughts on what I think might be going on out there. It sounds maybe Drumpf is still about, which would seem quite unusual, given that he was the last president before it all went a bit Pete Tong, as they say. Interesting stuff. Larry, if you have any time later on, it would be absolutely fantastic to hear from you at some point, because I think you're going to have some real insights for us in the future. But in the meantime, I think we have another caller on the line. Mr. W, am I right? We've got another caller? Excellent. Here we go. So, hello, caller. You are on the air.
Hi, Susan. I'm just saying, you want to talk about patriotism, nationalism? How dare you leave out any mention of the Minutemen, let alone Preston Garvey? The Minutemen are the true patriots of this country.
Preston, yes, of course. I am terribly, terribly sorry. Can I take your name, please, caller?
You can call me Betsy Ross, Susan.
Betsy Ross, fantastic. Well, hello, Betsy, and welcome to the show. First of all, apologies for not mentioning Preston. I've had a few messages from him in the past. He seems to like settlements a lot, but apparently a lot of them need our help. I mean, would you like to talk more about that?
Well, of course, because Garvey is a paragon of the righteous and the downtrodden. That's nationalism. That's patriotism, Susan. For just 10 caps a day, you can support a settlement that needs your help. No, 30 caps. Give everything. Give your all for the cause. There is no price too high for Garvey and the Minutemen cause.
That is really good to hear, Betsy. So the Minutemen cause, I mean, so Preston, is he going out himself to save these settlements? Because as a leader that I think Preston is calling himself, I mean, him physically fixing these settlements would seem to be something important, rather than just, say, assigning some random bystander who happens to come along to go and fix them. So can you tell me about how active Preston is in this settlement saving process?
Well, of course, he's a leader. A leader directs. He does not do. But when he needs to do, he does. You need to listen to Garvey. Another settlement does need your help. Your help, Susan. You need to rise up and help us reforge, renew, and retake the land. The chaff of the Minutemen were cut from the wheat during the Quincy Massacre. Our true patriot hero, Garvey, rose up from the ashes to lead us all on the necessary warpath to retake our country and restore balance and law.
Well, it certainly sounds to me, Betsy, that you're definitely a big follower of Mr. Garvey. Can you explain to me why you felt the need to follow him beyond apparent nationalistic cause reasons. I mean, what is it about the man himself that makes you just want to join him?
Well, Susan, you see, it all comes down to this. Like I said, the Quincy Massacre, a critical element in cutting that unnecessary element from a good cause. We have to retake Fort Independence. We need to retake it all. We need to retake this entire country. First, we need to avenge the Minutemen and wipe out the gunners. We need to let them know, and everyone else, we are not to be trifled with. We are back, and we are more powerful than ever. And next, we'll target those filthy raiders, those agents of chaos and cruelty, and then the mutant plague, and then the weak and the tech-dependent fools, the Brotherhood. No one will stand in our way, Susan. No one.
Okay. Wow. I'm sensing a lot of passion here. I mean, it's brilliant. I wasn't sure this level of passion existed in the wasteland. So just national anthems. Do the Minutemen have an anthem you know of by any chance?
Every bullet shed from each one of our pistols, our flare guns, our pistols, our revolvers, everything, every combat rifle, every hunting rifle, each one is a song on its own, just piercing the air and flesh of those who need to be put down. That is our anthem. Every single radium rifle, every single syringer, every single submachine gun, railway rifle. They're all a national anthem, Susan.
So that's a no then. Okay. How do you feel about tea?
Oh, I love tea. Tea is really nice after a good battle, after a hard day. It's absolutely wonderful.
Excellent. Okay, so you would never consider, say, getting rid of all the tea, throwing it into the harbor by any chance? No, that's not on the list.
What you're doing. I see what you're doing, Susan. You're trying to trap me. Oh, of course you would. You know what, Susan? I'm going to figure out where your vault is. I will find you, and I will. Oh, the things I'm going to do. If you're not with us, Susan, you're against us.
Well, okay. I guess I'm with you. So, listeners, Minutemen, Preston Garvey, he is their king. They're not crazy at all. Definitely not crazy. And if you have a settlement that needs help, Preston won't do anything. But that doesn't matter, because apparently the Minutemen will help somehow, even though there has been no real set out of exactly how they're going to do that. Aside from, it seems Betsy really likes guns. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Betsy, for giving us a call today. And I'm sorry we couldn't spend longer online or on the phone with you, because I think you might be crazy. But that's okay. So now we are going to move on to another caller, I think. So yeah, let's see if we've got anyone else. Oh, I'm sorry, listeners. The doorbell appears to have gone. Better check who that is. Although, quite frankly, I am sure it's just one of those Raider aid people just wanting a small donation of 5 caps a month. Ugh, so annoying. I mean, you can only give to so many charities. Am I right, listeners? Anyway, Mr. W, do you want to just bring up the... Yep, that's it. Bring them up on screen. It's these idiots again. I'm sorry, listeners. There's a roving raider gang called the Red Queen Hypothesis. Pretentious name. They keep trying to gain access to the vaults. They've tried hammering on the door. 60 hours. 60 hours they attempted to do that. Then when that didn't work, they've tried to bluff their way into the vault. They've dressed up as small children. For some reason, obviously forgetting. I have a camera. I can see who it is. They've tried to be traveling salesmen. What else have they done, Mr. W? Can you remember? Oh, it's been so many times, honestly, listeners. I'm just getting a bit annoyed. And they appear to have musical instruments this time. Oh, Yep, and it looks like they're going to play a song for us. Well, why don't we have a little listen in, listeners? This could be a bit fun. And then I'll just send a highly charged electrical pulse through the door. That normally gets them running. Anyway, so let's hear what the Red Queen Hypothesis have to say.
Susan medicine, promise not this pesky raiders again. Got a little slice of heaven, Vault 97, won't you please let us in? Susan medicine, running from the super mutants again. We're super ready to go. First atomic radio to send this message in. It sure sounds like paradise, and your robots can't be beat. We need help on the double. Settlements are in trouble from the men with skins of green. Susan medicine, running from the super mutants again. Ready to go. First atomic radio to send this message in. It sure sounds like paradise, and your robots can't be beat. We need help on the double. Settlements are in trouble from the men with skins of green. It sure sounds like paradise, and the robots can't be beat. We need help on the double. Settlements are in trouble from the men with skins of green. Susan let us in, promise not this pesky raiders again. Got your little slice of heaven down to Vault 97, won't you please let us in? We're too ready to go. We use our first atomic radio to send this message in.
Ah, that was actually quite nice. I almost felt guilty electrocuting them this time, but sorry, boys. There is no room in this vault for anyone but myself and all the robots, especially not dirty, dirty raiders who give themselves a pretentious name. Okay, I think we're getting a few more callers on the line. Mr. W, we've got another one on. I think we have. I can see the little blinky light. It is flashing. Yeah. Okay.
Hello there. Hello.
Hello, caller. What is your name?
Wendell.
Okay, Wendell, you are live.
Oh, Humphrey Wendell, if you don't mind.
Okay, you didn't say Humphrey first time, but okay, Humphrey Wendell. You're now live on Westford Radio. And what are your views on national anthems?
Oh, yes, just calling in from the Republic of Wendell. Very, very interested in what you were saying there about pride in one's country. I've actually founded my own nation of sorts. We're a fairly young sovereign state, only been going a few years now. We've actually not got too many citizens as of yet, you see.
How many citizens do you have,
Just
Mr.
me.
Owen? Oh, just you. Okay.
Just me. I got the idea from a lovely country called the Republic of Dave, you see. Have you heard of it, my dear?
No, I can't say I have.
A lovely place, marvelous, a real boom town. I'd never seen anything like it.
Okay, and so what was the Republic of Dave like, and what features have you taken from the Republic of Dave for your own republic?
Well, when I was a citizen there for a time, perhaps 3, maybe even 4 days, I saw what they had to offer. I experienced the benefits of residing in a well-organized society. I was so impressed, and due to some unrelated political disagreements and subsequent banishment, I decided to give it a try for myself. So began the Republic of Wendell.
Oh, okay. And Okay, well, this is quite interesting for me because I am a big fan of civilization and how we
Yes.
can hope to bring it back to the wasteland. So, for any other listeners out there, how would one go about starting their own country, republic, principality, etc.?
Ah, yes, well, you see, I have formulated a theorem, the Wendell theorem, that I
Of course you
list
have.
of rules for the perfect nation. Number 1, the virtues of timidity and blandness should not only be encouraged, but rewarded.
Okay.
Only those named Wendell are eligible to lead.
What?
Your sugar bombs shall be turned over to the Wendell. I mean the leader for inspection.
Right.
4, raiders and raider-related activities are strictly prohibited.
Well, I can agree with that.
5,
That sounds
and
good.
of course, most
there's more.
importantly, no ghouls.
Okay. Why no ghouls? I mean, my understanding is ghouls can be quite, contributing to society, generally quite good people. Aside from the feral ones, my understanding is they're okay.
No. You see, I'm not prejudiced. You understand? I was sat
here
in a
we go.
bar once by a ghoul, and I say with all the certainty in the world, I found the experience to be adequate. Nothing fell off of him to my Nuka-Cola, and I left more than an ample tip. So, don't you go saying that old Wendell isn't kind to the lesser peoples of the wasteland.
Well, I don't think ghouls would consider themselves as lesser people. I mean, my understanding is they have a certain longevity, which, for someone such as yourself starting a republic, surely their wisdom might come in handy.
Oh, Susan, my girl. Look, if you're not comfortable with me talking about the brain eaters, I beg I'm so sorry, zombie. Is that their word? I don't know the PC term. Shuffler? Rot face? Is that correct? I don't know.
I think ghoul is just fine for them. I'm not entirely sure. I think the other phrases might be considered offensive.
No. Let's be honest here. Ghouls, they just aren't safe for us real people to be around. It's not their fault. It's purely a cultural divide. Whereas you or I, our values are in accordance with polite society. Ghouls, theirs is more of a necrotic intelligence, do you see?
Okay, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Wendell. I think this is something we're never going to agree on. So let's get the topic back to
Susan,
national anthems.
They suffer from a degradation of...
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Wendell. I appear to be having some technical difficulties here. I think I'm losing you. Mr. Wigglesworth, hurry up. I think I'm losing you. Susan, get on with it, Mr. Wigglesworth. Please cut the signal. Oh. Bugger. That is a shame. It appears I've lost Wendell, and that's a shame because that was such a stimulating intellectual conversation. Anyway, listeners, so it appears right now that our broadcasting receiving technology has had a small technical hiccup. So we'll have to get that fixed at another time, maybe never. But in the meantime, I'm now going to head on off because I've actually had a very long day. I know I've not been broadcasting very long, but it's been a long day. I mean, I started off in the velodrome, I moved on to the roller disco and ended up in the ice rink and then got roped into bringing back this recording. So I am now just going to head on off and get a few hours of sleep just to replenish myself. But don't worry, I am going to be leaving you with a special song. This is the great Bill Haley and his comets, and his comets. And this song is called 13 Women and Only One Man in Town. So enjoy. See you next time.
Last night I was dreamed about the H-bomb. Well, the bomber went off and I was caught. I was the only man on the ground. There was 13 women and only one man in town. 13 women and only one man in town. And as funny as it may be, the one and only man in town is me. With 13 women and me, the only man around. I had 2 gals every morning, seeing that I was well fed. And believe you me, one sweetened my teeth, while another one buttered my bread. 2 gals gave me my money, 2 gals made me my clothes, and another sweet thing bought me a diamond ring, about 40 carats, I suppose. Well, 13 women and only one man in town. There was 13 women and only one man in town. It was something I can't forget, because I think of those 13 women. Yeah, well, 13 women and only one man around. I had 3 gals dancing the mambo, 3 gals calling the jack, and all of the rest really did their best, boy, they sure were alive and packed. I thought I was in heaven, and all of these angels were mine, but I woke up and I hit the tree, cause I had to get to work on time. Well, 13 women and only one man in town. There was 13 women and only one man in town. No, I can't tell you where I've been, cause I kind of think that someday I'll go back again to those 13 women, me the only man around. Well, 13 women, me the only man around. Well, 13 women, me the only man around.
Well, that was our live show, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, those of you that did, and thank you everyone for taking part. So today you had Andrew, you had Cara, you had Lee, and you've had Theo and Marcus all joining in. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thanks so much for having us on. That was a really good time.
No, I'm glad. Basically, guys, for those of you who don't know, if maybe you've only listened to our show, we have Andrew, Marcus, Cara, Lee. We all found them through a brilliant podcast called The Fallout Feed. And that's, would you guys like to maybe give yourselves a bit of a plug for that, for people who don't know?
Okay, the Fallout Feed is basically just an open conversation about Fallout general. Recently, we've been sticking mainly to Fallout 4, but we do have all sorts of side projects going on, like with some audio Let's Plays with Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and all sorts of fun stuff going on over there. We explore mods and just play the game and have an open conversation about it. But right now, our fun main project is we're doing a Dead is Dead, meaning or permadeath, other people call it, with survival mode, and we're challenging other Fallout podcasts around to sort of do some cross promotion of podcasts and have some open, friendly competition between our communities. So coming up, we're changing each sort of round a little bit with what sort of stipulations and rules in survival mode we can and can't use or whatever. But we'll soon be coming for you guys here at West Vault Radio. So get ready.
I don't leave my vault. That's my thing.
So that'll be a really good time, and we're excited to be doing some of that. Kara is also a host on the Fallout Feed. So say hi, Kara. What's going on?
Hey, should we also mention we've had our first casualty of our Dead is Dead?
Oh
yeah, Pat already died.
Pat died.
Level 7. I was over level 7 before I left Sanctuary because I'm cheating by scrapping and rebuilding and scrapping and rebuilding and scrapping and rebuilding. And
Is it cheating or is it just being tactical?
Exactly. It's using a tactical advantage. It's fine.
They said I wasn't allowed. They didn't say I wasn't allowed to do it, so yeah.
Exactly. If the rules don't specify, then you got to take that for it. So So are you currently winning then, Andrew? Even though you left Sanctuary diseased?
Yeah, I left. A blowfly got me right in the freaking neck. One of those little offspring, horrible little boring worms that spits at you, bored right into my neck and got me with some sort of horrible disease. I hate. I need to make a mad dash to Diamond City to see a doctor. I'm like, okay, where's their doctor? And I'm looking at my map. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Is Diamond City the only guaranteed spot between here and there? Good Lord.
Oh,
so that's the next objective is sprinting all the way there. But yeah, so I'm in a bad spot if we're in survival mode, and the challenge is to live as long as possible. And I haven't even left Sanctuary, and I've already got a bloodborne illness. It's terrible.
So where would people find sort of your Dead is Dead feeds and all the other good stuff that you guys do at ASA?
Oh yeah, thank you for the opportunity. ASApodcasting.com. We do lots of other podcasts. We've got some Skyrim centered stuff. It actually started as a Skyrim show, and Fallout split off of that. But they also do Let's Plays for Skyrim stuff. So that's asapodcasting.com. The Fallout feed is our email, twitch.tv/ASA podcast, and you can see all of our Dead is Dead live streams and stuff like that. So thanks for the opportunity for us to...
Yeah. Absolutely fine. Thank you guys for taking part. And in case anyone didn't work it out, Andrew was our first caller today, and I promise you, he is not that creepy in real life. He definitely is not that.
I felt really weird doing that. I'm sorry.
Well, he does like boy farms, so.
Oh yeah, he does like his boy farms, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Don't bring that up out of context, guys. That sounds so bad.
Listen to the Christmas episode, and you'll find out about boy farms.
Stop it.
So that was Andrew. He was our first caller, and he's one of the hosts of ASA Podcasting Fallout feed. We also have Cara, and she was the excellent Betsy Ross fanatical Minuteman follower. So Cara, that was amazing. It was,
Thank you. I really at first wasn't sure I could pull it off, but once I got into it, I don't know, it just unfortunately or fortunately it felt really comfortable, and I just kind of let go.
It was the passion. The passion was there. It was excellent. So thank you. And Cara is another host on the Fallout feed, and she will be doing a Dead is Dead at some point in the future. I don't know when. Have you got any plans when you're doing that, Cara?
Yeah, probably this Wednesday around like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or something. Well, no, probably more like 7.
Nice. Okay, cool. We also had Lee and Marcus who are on the show. Marcus, who's not with us at the moment because he's had to nip off. He was the Butterface, the super mutant, and he's a sometimes contributor to the Fallout feed, but he also is a supporter of the show. And we also had Lee playing the part of Crazy Larry, and Lee's another supporter of the Fallout feed, and that's how we found him. So, hi Lee, do you want to say a little something? Say thank you for joining us.
I'm just glad that the muse hit me when it did, because you don't know when inspiration's going to come.
No, it was brilliant. Actually, it fits really well. So we might be calling. Well, actually, to be honest, all of you are brilliant. So we'll probably be calling on you again at some other point. So we might try another one of these live shows if I'm not entirely grey-haired by then with the stress. Sorry, listeners, for the original technical difficulties. We don't know what was going on there. That was weird. It's the first time we've ever done this. So and we also have the last but definitely not least, we've got Theo, who is from the podcast Quality Irrelevant. Hello, Theo. Would you like to tell people a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, that would be good. Before the police come round to my flat, because I think I've woken up every single person in the building, and they'll be knocking on my door. Podcast. Oh God, the plug. Quality Irrelevant. It is a podcast. We market it as a podcast for the dispositionally broken. I host it with my friend Phil, who is my co-host and hostage. And go and check it out. Go to qualityirrelevant.com or Google that, and it should pop up. If too many of you go to the website will break. So it's not my fault if it goes down. If the website isn't there, I didn't do it. You did that. It's not my fault.
Yeah, their show, it's really fun. It's, as I said, it's very irreverent, I suppose. Not so much irrelevant. I think it's more irreverent. But it's also fun. I think they talk about, was it Ian McShane? You've got a bit of a thing for, certainly in one episode.
Yeah, we have some weird obsessions. I would try and summarize it eloquently, but I can't, so I won't.
Oh, brilliant. But yeah, so definitely check out Quality Irrelevant, check out the Fallout Feeds podcast, all this. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking part and agreeing to be part of this insane project that Luke and I thought would, or probably more me. I think Luke's sitting there thinking, no, I didn't agree to any of this when I sort of signed up. It's all Laura. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for taking part. And yeah, guys, check out their podcasts. And thank you, anyone who has listened to this show live. And if you're listening to this on the podcast later on, thank you very much for continuing to listen to us. And this was the first episode of season 2. We will have it up on the iTunes as soon as we can, probably some point, maybe in the next week or so. And we will be bringing you the full episode 2 next month. Expect maybe a minisode or 2 in the meantime between then. But thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Thank you for being part of it. Oh, quickly before I go, archive.org is where we get all our music from. It's all free Creative Commons stuff, so that's where that all comes from. I don't know where we got our sound effects from this episode. Probably free sound. We love free sound. They're credited already. It's brilliant. So yeah, and thank you very much to all the listeners. Thank you very much for keeping listening with us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. So take care, guys, and we'll see you in the wasteland, as our Fallout Feed friends say. So take care, guys, and see you soon.